This revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all that the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well then, show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well then, stick to your word, and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
can kill all the black folks you want to, baby, but you will not kill the freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. We fought every one of your damn lousy wars, baby, and you give us nothing. Now, the war is going to be here, but we're going to be free. Now, you kill you want to, but we kill too.
There it is. There it is. Good evening, family. Welcome to another edition, another episode, I should say, of The Corridor. This is episode 19. Episode 19. And I appreciate anybody that's going to check out the live, anybody that's going to check out the playback. We're in the studio tonight. Obviously, we're not in the car, or you would already be seeing my face. I'm going to come up in just a second here. I'm just trying to get a couple more things tightened up before I turn the camera on, but I just wanted to make sure that I got a full intro in, got my shares out, so I don't have to be doing that house cleaning stuff, and then you guys are, wondering why there's a pause or delay in the delivery needs to be fluid tonight. And let me ask anybody that's in the chat right now that's willing to just give me a thumbs up for saying that my audio is good. If my audio is good, there's a few people already in here. If my audio is good, please let me know my audio is good. I do not want to have another situation like I had with Dr. Angela Guy Lee. My audio was really low. Her audio was fabulous. And I've actually listened to our stream a couple times just to really learn some of the things that, I'm not really paying attention to the actual dialogue when I'm in the midst of it. So I have to go back and rehash. But she sounded great that night. I sounded horribly, and that's why I took the feed down. So if there's anybody in here that's willing to put that in there, and I might have people that are just lurking because they probably want to see what I'm going to be talking about. Generally, when you throw hashtags like a Mark Zuckerberg, an Elon Musk, and a Jeff Bezos in your stream, it's going to kind of be clickbaitish. And it is, but it isn't. Because we're going to talk a little bit about Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. We're absolutely going to talk about them tonight. I named this White Boy Privilege, Marky Mark and the Funded Bunch. For those who don't know who Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is, I'm not sure exactly why you'd be here. So if you know who Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is, then you will understand my play off of that with Marky Mark and the Funded Bunch. So at any point, just I'm going to bring the comments up just in case somebody does say something, but hopefully my audio is clear tonight. I need to know that my audio is good tonight, or I will shut this shit down. I have no problem with shutting it down. I'm not looking to be up here for 2 hours or an hour or even 30 minutes if my audio is not clear. But I think I corrected the issues that I had before. I did a couple dry runs, pause, and I think I'm good, but I won't know until somebody tells me yay or nay. Shannon, we can hear you. Shannon, we cannot hear you. But either way, the villager on deck is here. Y'all know my name is Shannon. That's why I say my name. Some people don't know my name is Shannon. They just call me villager. I don't know why. I don't care if you call me Shannon. You can call me One Man Shane. You can call me the villager. It doesn't matter. You can call me a foul name if you need to, if that makes you feel better. And if we get some trolls in here tonight, I will take time out for the trolls, because trolls trying to troll a troll, they get trolled. So if we do get some trolls in here tonight, please let me deal with it. I will stray away from the content for a bit just to make sure that I take them out, and then I will get back on task. But tonight we are talking about white boy privilege. And it's probably not exactly what people are thinking it's going to be about, but that's kind of the history of my streams. My streams are not always what it seems, okay? My streams are not always what it seems. I just make that up. Sounds kind of good, too. So cheers to anyone that is out here having a good evening. And if you got your beverages and you got whatever else you need that's going to help you hold on to the content tonight, feel free to indulge, sit back. I'm going to be here for a minute. I'm absolutely going to be here for a minute. We are live on Twitter. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Facebook. I have no idea where the views are coming in from right now. I wish I could distinguish that, but I have no idea who's listening and from where. But wherever you are listening from, I appreciate you tonight. This last week was interesting. It was very, 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 very interesting. Not just with all the things that number 47 is putting into play, or maybe even taking out of play. It was interesting to see how people are responding to it. And that's interesting to me. And I'm kind of confused as to why some people are so upset, seeing that 47 is the same president as 45. And 45 said he was going to do many of these things, or these types of things, but, you know, he got kind of hemmed up with some other things that were going on. Then we got hit with the pandemic, and he wasn't able to put a lot of stuff into play. And I get it. I understand. But what we're dealing with right now is a lot of outrage and a little focus. And I think we need less outrage and more focus. I'm a person that, it's not that I don't become outraged, okay? I'm a very excitable person. I can be outraged, but it's got to be about for the right things. It's got to be about for the right things. It's not going to be just because I feel like yelling and screaming and saying, "Oh no, he's going to kill the." I don't believe that he can do any more damage to the country as a whole. It already is. All right. What I do believe is that if people allow some of the measures that are being taken right now and maybe over the next couple months, if they allow that to dictate them for the next 4 years, let's say, you'll be really far behind. And you'll be really far behind because what we're dealing with right now is a lot of white boy privilege. Okay. People that are new to the streams, hopefully I got a couple new people here listening tonight. I always strive to gain new listeners, new subscribers. Subscribers come very, very few. But listeners, people that are listening tonight, if you're new to listening, understand the way I deliver. I tend to tell stories. And when you tell a story, sometimes you send it way out there. If you've ever fished before, you throw your line way out there and then you slowly reel it back in. Kind of a boomerang effect, the way I deliver. So if you're not used to my content, please understand. If I throw something out there and you don't quite understand it, just give it some time. It will boomerang back. It will reel back in. Okay, that's just the way I deliver. So please understand that. For those of you who have heard me before, you know how my content goes. Once again, some people didn't realize that I did cut off the name. Okay, I cut the name Friedman Media off, but it's the same page as the new name Candor Cassian. It's not a new page. It's the actual same page. And I didn't even go back and change any names. What was Friedman Media was Friedman Media. What was Blackwatch was Blackwatch. And there might even be some dark side episodes on there. I've had a few names for the YouTube pages. And like I said, I'm not a high volume caster. I get it. I get more love on Facebook. I'm starting to get a lot of love on Twitter. I don't know why, because I don't really post on Twitter. But I think people that are on Twitter tend to like a little bit more of what I'm talking about versus maybe some people on Facebook. But I get love on Facebook. YouTube has been really slow to come. I listen to a lot of YouTube streams, and it's amazing some of the views that some of the people get with some of the product that they put out. And I'm not talking about anybody individually tonight, but I also think that some people have a little help. I don't, which is fine with me. I'm not looking for help. What I'm actually looking for right now is people to understand where we are and, let's talk about how we move forward. Good evening, Brother Donald. I appreciate you joining me tonight. You are a loyal supporter of the streams. You are a loyal supporter of my content. I appreciate you being here tonight. I know football is on right now, so maybe you got football turned down and got me turned up, and I appreciate that. Since you are here, since you are in the chat, I appreciate you coming up. Can you hear me clearly, Brother Donald? I know you were here a few nights back with Dr. Angela Guy Lee. How is my audio tonight? If you can tell me, I appreciate it. Hopefully the audio is good. I just don't want people sitting around saying,
What did you say, nigga?
because they can't hear me. Audio is good. Awesome. Okay. I like that. I like the fact that I was able to fix that error. Wish I could have found it the night that I talked to Dr. Guy Lee, but I'm going to be talking to her again, and I will have everything tight. I will have everything tight at that point. So that'll be a beautiful thing. Brother George, I don't even call him George. What's up, Swing? What's good, baby? What's good? So, yeah, we've got some things that we're going to talk about tonight with this white boy privilege. And like I said, it's probably not exactly what some people are thinking, but it's probably where people who know me know where I'm going to come with this message. So it's all good. Brother Richard, I appreciate I should have looked at your comment before you trying to get me cut off. You know I'm on the man's platform right now, brother Richard. You trying to get me cut off his platform? If my shit gets cut off at 15 minutes and 30 seconds, then I know that it got cut off because you put that hashtag up. Come on now. What's good with you, Swing? But yeah, I appreciate that. A lot of people don't like Elon Musk. I get it, man. Absolutely. Go Lions. Go Lions. You see that game, man. I'm really kind of pissed, brother Richard. Let me tell you. When I saw how they got beat by the Philadelphia Eagles, because I knew if we got the Eagles, we were going to beat the Eagles. But to not be able to get past the Washington Redskins 2.0, I have a hard time calling them Commanders. Just like I had a hard time calling them the Washington football team. That was some of the dumbest shit ever. But to lose to them and then see them get just piped tonight. I mean, they got piped. The young brother, Jaden Daniels, he's got a great career ahead of him. Just tonight wasn't his night. So Jalen Hurts is going back to the Super Bowl. Been there 2 times in 3 years. Anybody that's actually trying to put kids into sports and get them into the pros, you need to have a kid, make sure it's a boy, and just name him Jaden or Jalen. If his name is Jaden or Jalen, he's got a really good chance of going pro. It seems like every other kid named Jaden or Jalen is going pro now, whether it be football or basketball. We don't play baseball no more. Black folks don't play baseball. I don't know why. It's the biggest money out there with the least amount of work. Not so much the least amount of work, but the least amount of duress on your body. But for some reason, people don't want their kids playing baseball. So I'm still trying to push my grandson towards baseball. He wants to play football now, and I'm like, okay. But I think if he done seen some of that money, he done seen some of that baseball money. He was talking about that $700 million contract, and I was like, yeah, and you don't get hit by nobody. But, it is what it is. He's got a long way to go. He's only 9 years old, so I'm not really going to worry about that right now. But, yes, mobile quarterback. Yeah, here's the thing. We got what we got right now. Jared Goff is what we've got right now. I don't think we're going to get rid of him before next year. And truthfully, the window could be closing. The window could be closing if we do not get it next year, probably. Maybe we got another year. But, Mahomes is becoming a little unbeatable. I don't know if they've caught up. I think the Chiefs were up by 7 the last time I looked. I don't know if Buffalo caught up. But I think the window is going to close quickly now that we've lost our 2 coordinators. And if these 2 coordinators don't come in and build some synergy over the next couple of years, you've got to now start to think, okay, we are going to have to start over with the quarterback. Jared Goff doesn't have that many more calendars, to go. And then you're going to have guys that are going to be looking to re-sign or renegotiate their contracts, and we're not going to be able to keep them all, okay? And so the team will start to just, kind of either vanish or we're going to have to replace people, but they're not going to be the same thing. I think the team we've got right now actually can win a Super Bowl. We couldn't get past them last week, and there was a couple things that didn't go our way, but you're never going to throw 4 interceptions in a game and win anything in the playoffs. You throw 4 interceptions and you win, that team you played was fucking horrible. I just have to tell you that. So absolutely. Let me get that mobile quarterback off there. What I do, Donald? What I do? What you say? 4 J's: Jared, Jaden, Jalen, Josh with Patrick. Okay. See, that's a cannabis smoker right there. You sat there and thought of all that. That's a cannabis smoker. Need to add some depth across the board. Absolutely. 2 J's got smoked. 32-29 KC. Is that a final? Donald? Peace and love, brother Sean. Information, man. Appreciate you checking in tonight. But yeah, we're here, man. We're here 6 days into the 47th president's tenure, and we're going to either stay the course or we're going to get washed away. Let me just be honest. Let me just get right to it. We're 20 minutes in. We've had a little chop talk. Kamala and Jared are sharing a joint now. Oh, come on, man. Jared ain't passing the Mamala, is he? He ain't passing the Mamala, is he? Please don't tell me Jared's smoking with Mama. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm a not like Jared if he's out there smoking with Mama. Come on. We've got to stay the course, though. We've got to stay the course, and we can't get hung up into just this move, that move, those moves. And I know everybody is right now is clinching about this DEI stuff, you know. And the DEI stuff is confusing to some, but it's very, 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 very transparent to me. I'm not sure why people are getting so lost with the DEI stuff, but I look at things differently than other people do. So, you know, one of the things, like I said, we got to talk about white boy privilege tonight. And white boy privilege, you know, you saw the thumbnail, but white boy privilege is it's here. And when you got Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, 3 billionaires, and I think they've said Elon Musk is one of the richest men in the world, if not the richest man. I can't remember if he is actually the richest man, but you've got 3 of the richest men right there in a camera shot, sticking their tongues out. I have no idea why they did this. I can tell you what it looks like, but I really don't want to kill there. That's a whole different show. You know, this is Candor Casting. It's not OnlyFans. It's not Pornhub. It's not any of that. Okay? So we want to make sure that we stay right on course. Donald Trump can't play any golf. We need to do a show together soon. Absolutely. Let's get it in. Let's get it in for sure. I always love coming on your platform. You have a very, very intelligent audience. I love speaking to smart people. And that's who's here tonight. I got a lot of smart people already in the chat. There's probably a lot of smart people who aren't going to say anything in the chat, and that's perfectly fine. But pretty much everybody that's in this chat right now is smarter than me, which is great, because I do not like to be the smartest guy in the room. I only like to be the smartest guy in the room if I'm the only guy in the room. I want to surround myself with smart people, just like these 3 individuals. These 3 individuals are given the credit for being really, really smart. And it's not that they're not really smart. It's not that they're not really smart at all. But they have really, really smart people who work for them. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg has to have really, really smart people to work for him to control Facebook. And I think, doesn't he own Instagram too? Doesn't Facebook own Instagram, or however it works there? So he owns both of them or something now, I think. He has to be very smart, but he has to have smart people around him. Of course, Elon Musk hasn't wrenched anything. Elon Musk has never put one vehicle together. He's never worked on an assembly line, probably knows nothing truly about putting a car together, but he has Tesla. And that means he has a lot of smart people around him. So, you know, to have that, you have to kind of back away. Yeah, you can be really smart. You could be ultra smart. But if you really want to be successful in business, you've got to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. And Jeff Bezos, you know, anybody ever had a package delivered by Jeff Bezos? I don't think so. I don't think anybody has ever opened their door and Jeff Bezos was walking away after knocking or ringing the doorbell because he just dropped your package on your porch. But Jeff Bezos has surrounded himself with some very, 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 very smart people, and Amazon is what it is, and his other businesses that he owns are what they are. I mean, he owns the Washington Post. He owns the Washington Post. Everybody in here knows that, right? Everybody, I know I've got some really intelligent people in here, but everybody knows that Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, right? And how big of a newspaper the Washington Post is. Everybody does know that, right? I know you know information, man. I know you know information, man. But everybody does know that. Everybody, look. Richard, you are not just going to be able to keep dropping these bombs on my stream like this. You're going to get me cut off from X or Twitter. I call it Twitter still. I have a problem with X, but since I looked at it, I said X. You're going to get me cut off. But I want to touch on a few things. If you hang around 9 rich people, you're bound to be the 10th. I like that. I like that. And that's a quote. That's a quote from somebody. I don't know exactly who that is a quote from, but that is a quote from somebody. Black tech matters. Absolutely. And this is some of the things that hopefully we touch on tonight, Brother Richard, because my issue with the way everybody's acting out here with this whole DEI thing, I think that I understand why some people are upset, but why other people are upset, I'm just a little confused, because I am in that realm of having grandchildren. All right. I am in that realm of having grandchildren. I've pretty much done what I'm going to do out here as far as schooling and training and things like that. I'll probably train. I'll probably have a couple more jobs in my lifetimes, whatever, but I'll train for that. But I'm not going back to anybody's school, right? But I do understand that we need to be technically sound. We need to be technically literate. We need to be literate first, but we need to be technically literate out here. My brother TJ, what's good with you? Anyone can be successful if they have as much government support as Elon. Big facts. Big facts. See, you're going to have people out here saying it to you.
What did you say, nigga?
You're going to have people out here saying it to you, TJ. Say it again.
What did you say, nigga?
Anybody can be as successful as they can with as much government support as Elon Musk has really, really, really benefited off the United States government. He's absolutely benefited off the United States government. Some people know this, some people don't. Elon Musk will tell you that he came over on one of those visas and worked on one of those visas, and that's why he has no problem with paying people with those visas, because he can keep that salary of theirs down and actually probably navigate whether people stay or go in this country. It's a lot of power you have when you employ people with those visas. There's a lot of power that comes with it. Somebody gets locked in with your company and they're working with you and they got that visa and you let them go, doesn't mean somebody's instantly going to pick them back up. And then who knows, with the type of power that some of these guys have, they can keep you from working at other companies. I mean, say somebody works at Tesla. He could keep somebody working from being an engineer at Amazon or being an engineer at Facebook just because of his power. He's that powerful where he could actually blindside you to the point where you wouldn't be able to make a move. And if your main thing is you have to work under one of those visas, you probably have to bounce. And why would you want to bounce? Because you came over here to get the bag, and the bag is here. You don't want to go back to your homeland. So there's a lot of power with those guys having those visas, and I know that all of the companies probably benefit by bringing people over here from other countries. None of that's really been dug into. And we're talking about the big three right here. We're talking about Marky Mark and the funded bunch. So Marky Mark probably has people over here with those visas. Jeff Bezos probably has people over here with those visas. And they're high up in the company, but they can only make a certain amount of money. But, some people like that nice, bright, shiny business card and access that they have working for the metaverse, working for Amazon or working for Tesla, and they'll take a smaller salary. Whereas Americans want to be paid what they're worth, and they should be paid what they're worth, and they're not being paid what they're worth. So now, with this DEI thing that's getting thrown around, I think it's more of a smokescreen than anything. I absolutely think it's more of a smokescreen than anything. That's why he was hell-bending on getting Trump elected. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's another reason why he was hell-bent on getting Vivek Ramaswamy up out the paint. You saw how Vivek stood out there and Elon was like, oh, okay. You said that shit? Elon Musk did not come to Vivek Ramaswamy's aid at all. Donald Trump didn't come to his aid. Mark Zuckerberg didn't come to his aid. Jeff Bezos did. Nobody came to Vivek Ramaswamy's aid when he said that Americans are mediocre and immigrants are coming over here and they're smarter and they're getting the bag and they're better at it. None of them stood up for him. None of them. Donald Trump didn't say shit. They just let him fall flat on his face. Now he's trying to run for governor of Ohio. Look, man, look. When he said he was going to run for governor of Ohio, I literally said,
What did
I sure did. Dude, you tried to run for president, okay? That didn't work. Now you're trying to run for Ohio's leader? Come on, dog. It's not going to happen. Let me just tell you right now, Vivek, it's not going to happen. Let me be the first to tell you, you will not become governor of Ohio. It's not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. So, but when we talk about white boy privilege, we talk about a lot of things that are happening out here on the business front. And the business front, things have drastically changed for a lot of people over the last week or so. I know people that work for the government, state and federal, and absolutely things changed once Donald Trump got into office again, and he started signing this and he started signing that. But the biggest thing that came about was the DEI stuff. Okay? Let me blow it all the way up here. The DEI stuff is really what's got people talking, crying. But when you look at these stats, right here, chief diversity officers, statistics by race and gender. And then you think, before we were dealing by name with DEI, DEI has been around. It's been around for a long time. Just really started getting talked about over the last 5-6 years. When you've had a human resource manager at the business that you work at, every business that you work at, any corporate business that you've worked at, when you've had a human resource manager, who has been the human resource manager at the corporation? If I can just get a couple people in the chat so I can recite, because I know on my side who I've seen as a human resource director. But as a human resource director, human resource manager, who did you have as one, or who do you have as one now in the corporate job you may be holding? What'd you say there, Donald? I saw video of Bezos in a factory. A worker told Bezos how much he loved working for Amazon after working for 30 years at other companies. Bezos just laughed it off and kept walking because he don't give a fuck. He don't care how much you like working. If you don't like working for him, he'll be like, okay, bye. Actually, Jeff Bezos ain't firing nobody. Let's just kick the ballistics. Jeff Bezos ain't firing nobody. But what he'll do is he'll go through who the person is running that particular Amazon spot and be like, look, I was just down at station 28 and he doesn't seem real happy. And then he'll keep going. Because at that point, once he knows that he's got a disgruntled person on the floor, he's going to get him off the floor. But Jeff Bezos ain't firing nobody. He'll use his underlings to do that. But if that person stated to him that he thought it was a great place to work, I mean, let's read that again. Saw a video of Bezos in a factory. A worker told Bezos how much he loved working for Amazon after working 30 years at other companies, and Bezos laughed it off and kept walking. Yeah, because Bezos is probably like, oh, you ain't had to piss in a bottle because they wouldn't let you go on break? Oh, you ain't had to sleep in your car because you had to work a double? Oh, you know, he didn't kick all the shit that's probably gonna happen to that guy, because I heard there's some horrible working conditions for Amazon. And I don't wish working for Amazon on anybody. I heard there's some absolute horrible working conditions for Amazon, but you know, it is what it is. A job's a job, a wage is a wage, and there's integrity with all work unless you're hurting women or children or men. But getting back to this DEI stuff, diversity officers by and large have been white and they've been women. They've been white and they've been women. Okay? 76%. 76% white. Almost 55% are women. 45% are men. And I can guarantee you that number would be higher if women were put into higher levels of administration in corporate businesses before the last 25, 30 years. I mean, there were no women in high-ranking corporate positions over 30 years ago. So this is really just over the last 30 back, we'll say 1990. This is really you didn't see women in high-ranking corporate positions and administration over 30 years ago. But if they were the office manager, and if they were the human resource manager, they got moved up, and that was a job that probably some man got bumped from, and he went into even a higher position in the corporation. But the job has remained firmly in the grips of Caucasian people. And then you go next, Hispanic or Latino, almost 8% of Hispanic and Latinos hold the job of chief diversity officers. Then you go to Asian, almost the same exact number, 7.7%, almost 8% of diversity officers are Asian. And then they say unknown, 3.9%. And it's a motherfucking shame that there's more unknown people working as chief diversity officers, DEI officers, than there are Black Americans, or African Americans, as most of you like to say. Most of you call yourselves African Americans. I do not call myself an African American. I'm an American freedman. If I had to call myself an African American, I'd call myself an American African, but I'm not going to call myself an African American. I'll say black to be concise, but you're going to generally hear me say American freedman, just like you heard me say ADOS. And I'll never probably state it, but FBA, it's all the same. But we're legally classified as American freedmen, and that's why I like to be statistically correct. I like to be statistically correct. Not what sounds good, not what's fashionable, not what looks good on a shirt. I like to be statistically correct, and we are politically classified as American freedmen. They just don't use it, that's all. American Indians hold 0.7% of the chief diversity officer positions. What's happening, Free? So looking at these numbers, I wonder why people are so upset. Because you got to understand that if the chief diversity officers, 3 out of 4 chief diversity officers have been white, 55% women, 45% men, who do you really think they've been putting into play? I mean, have things really changed for Black people since affirmative action was put in play? No. And then when they started talking with DEI numbers, did it really change for us? No. Who it may have been directed at or meant for, it didn't work for, and neither did affirmative action. And we know this. So to get upset about DEI going away is crazy. I challenge anyone in this chat tonight. Appreciate the last like that I got. I had 2 likes before, now I got 3 likes. And it shows I got more people in here. I don't know why everybody doesn't like the video when they come in. I'd like more likes, but everybody doesn't like the video. Y'all don't like what y'all hearing. I get it. But if you're here and you're going to be here for more than 60 seconds, hit like, hit that thumbs up. Let me know I matter. Let me know I matter. And if I don't matter, I get it. I get it. But understanding that 3 out of 4 diversity officers, 7 out of 10 diversity officers, 70 out of 100, 76 out of 100 are white. What did we really lose? We didn't even hold the position in power. So we're definitely not able to put our people in play. At a 3.8% clip, how many people are we really putting in play? Think about it. Think about it. How many people are we putting in play at 3.8% power? You're not doing much. You're not doing much. But people are upset that DEI has gone away with a lot of corporations, with universities, this, that, and the other. I got news for you. DEI been gone. DEI been gone. But because they kept talking it up, y'all thought it still existed. Y'all thought it would still matter to us. How many of y'all have ever gotten a job based on DEI? I mean, really? How many of you have gotten a job because DEI helped you get into that position? I don't know anybody personally. I literally don't know anybody that's ever been hired for a job through a DEI program. I don't. And not that it matters to me, but when I look at these stats, if 76 out of 100 DEI directors are white, and then the next bump is almost 8% are Hispanic, almost 8% are Asian, and then they got some unknown motherfuckers out here, almost at 4%, more than us. We're at 3.8%. Did we really matter? If you take that 76 and then you got 76.7, then you got, okay, so that make that 8, that's 76.9. So you've got 84, and then you've got another almost 8 is 90, 91, almost 92. P 3.9, unknown, we'll put it up to 96. Almost every single diversity officer, 96 out of 100. 96, because the American Indian, they're at 0.7. They're going to help us close that gap on our number there. But 96% of the diversity officers, DEI officers, have been non-black. What do you think the real stats are out here for them hiring black people? How many Hispanic DEI officers do you think hired more black people than Hispanic people? How many Asian DEI directors do you think hired more black people than they hired Asian people? And then think about it. If the people are unknown, whatever they are, do you think they hired black people? Or do you think they hired Asian, Hispanic, or white people? Think about it. The DEI is a damn lie. Hey, it is what it is. Is it a lie, Brother Richard? Is it a lie? Or is it truthful? Think about it. Oh, that's what happens. I took a setting off, because watch this. I'm gonna put Brother Richard's comment up there. See how it covers me up? Not that I don't need to be covered up, but that's what happens. I took a setting off, so I'm gonna go here because I don't want to be covered up. Brother Richard, I don't want you covering me up. I did that earlier, and now I know. I was like, what does that mean? Now I know what that means. It's supposed to bump my camera image up if I put a comment up, but I was playing around with some stuff. He said, not a one, not Nan. And you know what? I don't even expect him to. Do you? Does anybody expect white people, Hispanic or Latino people, Asian people, unknown people? Do you expect them to put us in play before they put themselves in play? When have you known white people to put black people in play before they put themselves in play? When have you known Latinos to put themselves in put black people in play before they put themselves in play? When have you known Asian people to put black people in play before they put themselves in play? And if a person is unknown, I mean, why would they put us in play before they would put some other unknowns in play? It is what it is. Corporate America sends out emails on Juneteenth and changes their logos to rainbow flags once a year. Diversity is solved. Open and shut case, Johnson.
What did you say, nigga?
Yeah. And now Target says that they're not going to have the Pride merchandise for June. They're cutting all that out. They're cutting all that out. They're not going to have the Pride stuff up in June. So now for Pride Month, now they've got to go find other places to sell their wares. It's not going to be sold in Target. And I didn't care one way or the other. I never brought a Pride shirt. Where my jaws got tight with that whole Pride gear was when they had the black fist, and then they changed it into the rainbow. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that shit at all. Affirmative action was for white females. Abso-fucking-lutely. And you preaching to the choir now. You know you preaching to the choir with that one, Brother Richard. We're the only ones that do that. Everyone before us. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Costco membership, Brother Richard. Sam's Clubs they've had us all these years. And it's Walton's, Walmart, whatever. I'm gonna get a Costco membership. Costco just earned my business by standing on business. I'll be honest with you. I was proud of them to stand up, to the new administration and say, fuck you. We're gonna do what we need to do over here. And it is what it is. So I don't think nobody gonna mess with Costco either. Costco's big. Costco got some big folks messing with them. Costco is the new move. Absolutely. Yeah. I didn't like it. I felt like, we have so much stuff that's stolen from us. We're the most creative people on the planet. We are just not the most monetized people on the planet. We got the great ideas. We just don't get the great remittance, but that black fist being turned into a rainbow fist, my jaws got tight on that shit. I got tight, and it ain't got nothing against gay people. I got gay people in my family. I don't need to run down my family tree, and I protect gay people when they are being wrongfully, put out there. I absolutely do, because they're just like any other marginalized community. I absolutely will protect them. I have no problem with that. But when shit like this happens, I knew gay people that thought that was bullshit. I knew black gay people that thought that was bullshit. Why are they using the black fist? Why couldn't they just go find another fist? They use the actual fist that they use for the soul power fist, the black power fist, and they made a rainbow out of it. No, we don't do that here. But that's all over. Target's done with that. Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. There's other outlets to be able to shop at. It might be more of an inconvenience for you, but there's more outlets to be able to shop at. And I know I'm going to have to make it come to a slow halt. I have to probably still go to Sam's Club at some point, but they can't be my go-to. And they're close. I mean, I hit Sam's because Sam's is less than 5 minutes away. It's going to be a little bit of a drive for me to go to Costco, but I'd rather take that drive of inconvenience and feel good here and feel good here. I'd rather do that than fuck with Sam's. And I'm not a real big Target person anyway. I rarely go to Target. I go to Target, I go right to what I need to get to, and I go right back out. I can go to some other spots. I can go to some other places. There's other stores other than Target. I can go to other places. Now, when we start getting here in Michigan, we've got our Myers and we got our Krogers. If they start talking that shit, that's when we really got to start circling our wagons, and then we got to start looking at places like a Fresh Time, Whole Foods. I know they're more expensive, but, we've got to go to places that are going to respect us and respect our dollar. Now, where I say that, I'm going to say this. I'm more concerned that when I walk in a place in the area that I'm in, I want to see faces like mine. Not like mine. I mean, you're not going to see masterpieces like this, but I want to see faces like mine, black people, working in places. Because if they're not good enough, to hire us, then they're not good enough to have my dollar. That's the way, that's the way it is. You live, bro? Yeah, I'm live. I think. Am I still live, guys? Brother Trey asked if I was live. Whole Foods is Amazon too. Jeff Bezos owns Whole Foods? I didn't know Jeff Bezos owned Whole Foods. Yeah, I mean, he ain't done nothing to totally fuck up yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, and I've been listening. Yeah, I'm live, Brother Trey. Costco has always been the bomb. I was never a fan of Sam's. Used to love Target. Yeah. Yes, he's owned it for like 10 years now, maybe longer than that. Wow. Did not know that. Does Whole Foods like deliver food like, like Instacart? Do you get like a special thing? Like does Amazon deliver stuff for Whole Foods like their prepackaged stuff that they got a food? I got to check that out. I did not know that. I did not know that. Okay. What's up, Helliva? What's going on, baby? He removed the DEI stuff from Amazon website the other day. When you say he removed it, so is he no longer functioning with DEI infrastructure? Is that what you're saying? Do you know who owns BJ's Warehouse? I do not. Who owns BJ's Warehouse? I've never been there. I still have never been to a BJ's before. It's all attached to Amazon. You can drop off, pick up packages all from all Whole Foods locations. What? So you can go ship stuff that you want to ship with Amazon. You can go to the Whole Food stores. See, he got his shit on lock. He got his shit, and that's that. Yeah. But I want to know more about. You say he removed this stuff off the website. Yeah, BJ's is just like Costco's and Sam's. I don't know who owns it, though. We got to find out who owns. What if we find out Elon Musk owns BJ's? I don't know. I just don't know. I have no idea who owns BJ's Warehouse. We have one BJ's that I know of in Tampa. I've never been there. And if you got an Amazon Prime membership, you get discounts at Whole Foods also. I have an Amazon Prime membership and had no idea. Maybe that'll bring some of the prices down on some of that high-ass shit they got in there. I mean, Whole Foods got some good stuff, but, it should be high. Like, high. High. But, it's Whole Foods, I guess, It costs more to be healthy. It really does. It costs more to be healthy, and I've had to learn that after I stopped eating flesh, eating animal products. I learned it costs more to eat stuff that never breathed before. It does. It absolutely does. Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's so many fat people. Fat foods don't cost that much. I mean, double cheeseburger at McDonald's been the same price for 30 years. But if they throw an Impossible Burger on a McDonald's menu, the bitch is going to be $6. You want to be healthy? You want to live longer? It's going to cost your ass. It's going to cost you. Go into your app for Amazon and you'll see the Whole Foods down there. Bet. Yes, it costs pretty pennies more to eat healthy. It is. It is. And my brother Carl, he put a post up. He said it's so funny when you walk into grocery stores and they have a section. They'll have a section that says healthy choices. And he's like, well, what the hell is the rest of the grocery store? And dude, that's heavy game. Think about it. Think about it. You go to a grocery store. You got your produce over here, and then your deli, and then your bakery, and all that stuff, right? All the way back to the meats and everything. You got your coolers and freezers, all the way around to like the dairy section and where the eggs and all that stuff are, right? Then you got your different lanes. This is some crazy shit. I thought about it. I literally thought about it. And it said, what's the rest of the grocery store if these are healthy choices? Is the rest of the grocery store unhealthy? That's heavy game right there. So are you saying that you've only got healthy shit over here, but rest of the grocery store totally unhealthy? I mean, I'm not here to make it like seem like I'm all ultra smart. I just told you I got that from one of my friends' Facebook posts. I had never thought of it. And I go to the sections in the grocery store that they consider the healthy choices, plant-based stuff. You know, I'll buy organic fruit and organic vegetables because it's, no pesticides, no this, no, I'll buy all that shit. Well, what's the rest of the shit? If this is the healthy stuff, the other stuff is unhealthy? Hey, man, I don't know. The Whole Foods cookie bar is everything. Now, that doesn't sound like a very healthy choice, Frida. The Whole Foods cookie bar. That doesn't sound very healthy at all. But it's Whole Foods, so it's probably made with really good ingredients, good quality. But the DEI thing is scaring people to a point where I just don't believe it's going to hit us the way people are making it out to be. I always believe that we need to be as qualified going into anything. And I don't believe we need to be trying to run neck and neck with anyone. I believe we should always be trying to exceed what we need to be qualified. It only behooves us to do that. Because if we're neck and neck and 76% of the chief diversity officers are white, if we're neck and neck with a white person, do you think that we're going to get a job from 76% of the white DEI officers, from the almost 8% Hispanic, or almost 8% Asian? Would they give us the job over a white person, or a Hispanic give us the job over a Hispanic person, or Asian give us a job over an Asian person if we both had the same qualifications? I don't think so. So where I feel we need to be excellent, I stopped saying that a couple weeks ago. I said we need to be exceptional. We need to be exceptional. And let me see if I can bring that up. I don't think y'all remember when I put this into play. Give me 1 second here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up so we can listen to it through the system, because I really want to have good audio here tonight. I want it to be through and through. I'm trying some new things with my deck, and I want to make sure that all of the audio is really clear. I mean, I'm going to have these drops.
What did you say, nigga?
And I know that audio is going to be lower than the normal audio. I get that. But what I want to do is I want to have clear audio. I want to have clear audio come through when I'm playing things through the stream itself. That's just from an exterior source. So while I'm doing this and slow talking, while I'm trying to get the audio prepped, it's important to me for people to understand I don't find anything wrong. I don't find absolutely anything wrong with Black excellence, with striving for Black excellence. But I think we've run our course of being excellent. Appreciate the last couple of likes that just popped up there. I can't believe that I don't have more likes tonight. I may get offended the fact that everybody is not hitting like that's in this stream, because I got at least 6 people listening live right now, and I've only got 5 likes. I don't know why I don't have more likes. If y'all don't like what I'm saying, I get it. But why are you still here? But if you're still here, at least give me the like. The like helps me with the algorithm. And I know there's some people that aren't going to come up today. I mean, hell, who knows? If he's not live right now, he might be in my stream right now. Hey, Tim Black. It's the villager on deck. I know Tim Black listens to my stream. I appreciate those likes. See, I guess that's what you got to do as a content creator out here. You got to beg a little bit. I don't beg, but I guess I got to get to begging. And I'm not going to beg for money, but I do want the likes. I want the likes because I need the algorithm movement. Because if I can get the algorithm movement, then the stream goes in places that it doesn't necessarily normally go. I told y'all before, and I made this up, then fucked around and heard it on somebody else's stream. I'll get all the rhythm if I can get in the algorithm. Heard it on somebody's stream. God damn it. I say some shit. I say some really clever shit, and then people will go use it in their streams and won't even give me the credit. You know, throw me the bone. Pause. What'd you say, Brother Richard? DEIEO is there to protect the employer instead of the employee. Most don't know this. Most don't know this, Brother Richard. A lot of people don't understand the DEI and EEO. It's not for us. It's for the employer. It's for them. It's not for us. Okay? Helluva, I appreciate that. Boy, you just fuck everything tonight. Tonight, Richard. Just fuck Elon, fuck Tesla, fuck the algorithm. I understand, but I don't. So I want to play something as to why I don't subscribe to Black excellence anymore. And hopefully everybody's able to hear it clearly. If you can hear, hello, once again, I appreciate you saying that you hit like. You said I hit my like button. I appreciate that. And anybody else that's going to hit the like button in the process or has already hit it, I appreciate you. But listen to why I don't subscribe to Black excellence anymore. Absolutely. 1 second. Check it out.
For us, for Black people in this country, excellence is the base. That's the base.
Can y'all hear that? Because if y'all can hear that, then I want to keep it going. If you can't hear that, then I don't want to keep it going. I'm going to end up playing it twice so everybody hears it. Was it clear? Was that clear? I need to make sure that was clear. Because if it wasn't clear, I don't want to play it. But hopefully it was clear. And if there's any other people that just came in the room and you like what you're hearing so far, you've been here for a couple minutes and you're hearing it because you know it's the real shit, hit that like button, all right? I'm going to beg tonight. I'm going to beg for that like. I'm going to beg for that like. But here's Dr. Foster talking about Black exceptionalism.
The goal is exceptionalism. That's the goal. But the base, we cannot be average. We must be amazing. And by the way, we are amazing. We are the most creative people on the planet. We really are. All right? When you look at from whence we came, and when we were building pyramids and solving complex engineering problems, when other cultures are living in the Caucasus Mountains practicing cannibalism. Okay? So we're all that in a bag of chips. They tried to erase that from history and erase that from our memory. It's all coming out now. We are an awesome people. Black people are a cultural phenomenon. And the longer we continue to demonstrate that, and this is an excellent example of the excellence of black men, and you do the same thing with black women, this is an example of what is possible. Right? What is possible for us? Look at where we are now. Keep doing this. We may take over the world. For us, for black people in this country, excellence is the base. That's the base. The goal is exceptionalism. That's the goal. But the base, we cannot be average. We must be amazing. And by the way, we are amazing. We are the most creative people on the planet. We really are. All right? When you look at from whence we came, and when we were building pyramids and solving complex engineering problems when other cultures are living in the Caucasus Mountains practicing cannibalism. Okay? So we're all that in a bag of chips. They tried to erase that from history and erase that from our memory. It's all coming out now. We are an awesome people. Black people are a cultural phenomenon. And the longer we continue to demonstrate that, and this is an excellent example of the excellence of black men, and you do the same thing with black women, this is an example of what is possible, right? What is possible for us. Look at where we are now. Keep doing this. We may take over the world.
And he went on and on. Dr. George Foster, he went on, and it just, he spits game every time I've ever listened to him. I just became familiar with him several years ago, but he's been around for a long time. And he kicked major game there. And this is why I cannot subscribe to black excellence anymore. I'm looking for black exceptionalism. We need to be exceptionally black. Not just excellent. We need to be exceptionally black. Nobody can take black excellence away from us. What happens if we're exceptional? When we're excellent, we're on top. What happens when we are exceptional? That's just what it is. You said, what am I sipping on here? I'll tell you, right here, brother. Let me just bring myself all the way up here. I am sipping on Traverse City whiskey. Traverse City is a city in Michigan, going way north in the state of Michigan. Traverse City whiskey. That's what I'm sipping on tonight, brother. Yeah. When we put out a good product in the state, I try to support it. I try to support businesses that have good products, have good service, and push people towards their business. That's what I'm about. That's literally what I'm about. That's what I'm always going to be about. You know, I do it here in Washtenaw County. I know I shared this video to some pages, Ann Arbor Politics, in particular, Ypsilanti Area Discussion, Positive Ypsilanti. I'm not only villager by name, but I try to really uplift my village. If you're doing good business out here, I want to talk about you. I want to talk to you. If you're not doing good business out here, however, put your helmet on. Put your helmet on, and I'm coming. Okay? Pause. I'm coming. But yeah, I'm sipping on that Traverse City whiskey. I know you usually normally see me with some Crown. Where I got the I got the salted caramel behind me, but I didn't want that tonight. I didn't want that tonight. I wanted to stay local with it. I wanted to stay in the village with it. And Traverse City's in the village, It's in the mitten here. I don't know who else is doing a show tonight, Brother Trey, but I really don't give a fuck. everybody is doing a show. Most of the big casters, that are on, they do shows Sunday nights. I didn't do this to try to rival them. I didn't want to sway their viewership with my 10, 20 people that's going to watch the video. So I don't think I'm really messing with anybody's, volume by me being live right now. And when I get off here, I'll probably go listen to some of their shit. But, I had to get white boy privilege off. Once I get so many things inside here, I got to be able to get it off. And I was thinking, I'm like, I looked at this last week. And I was like, these cats, they're so powerful. They're so powerful. And they have so many hooks into our daily lives. Think about it. Mark Zuckerberg is directly connected pretty much with everybody that's on this video tonight. Because I have only seen, I'm going to run back up here. Everybody that has commented on my video tonight has been on Facebook. That's all Mark Zuckerberg. So his influence is huge. I'm on Twitter and I'm on YouTube. But ain't nobody commented on YouTube. Only people have commented have been on Facebook. You're Zuckerbergs. You're Zuckerbergers. I get it. Most of my viewers are on Facebook. It is what it is. Now, Elon Musk, I understand everybody doesn't own a Tesla. But Tesla has indeed changed the game for cars because you've got other car manufacturers building autonomous cars or getting into the ideology of building autonomous cars because now they've got to compete with Elon Musk. And as far as Jeff Bezos goes, we know who he is. Hell, I know more about him now. I had no idea he owned Whole Foods until I talked to somebody who was smarter than I was tonight. I knew him for Amazon. I knew him for the Washington Post. And when you think about Jeff Bezos owning the Washington Post, most major news publications get behind presidential candidates during election years. Jeff Bezos purposely kept the Washington Post out of endorsing anybody this year. Mostly known as a liberal or Democratic base publication, they didn't endorse anybody. So because they weren't going to support Kamala, they sat it out. He didn't endorse Donald Trump, which nobody expected him to because Washington Post is generally a Democratic endorsing publication. But since he didn't endorse Kamala, everybody just figured he would just endorse Trump. He didn't endorse anyone. But you see where he's sitting now after the election. After the election, you see where he's sitting now. And I'm not talking about having his tongue wagging out here with Marky Mark and Elon. Kia has a nice EV Road One from... You know what? Kia has come a long way. That's the first company I sold cars for. Kia has come a long way from the least expensive vehicle in America with the longest warranty to now. They have come a long way, and they have a huge market share in the auto industry that nobody talks about. Kia and Hyundai have come a long way. Absolutely long way. Jeff was scared what Trump would do to his ass. You know what? I don't know if Trump really can do anything to Bezos, to be honest with you. What could Trump do? What can Trump do to Bezos? Trump should be careful because Jeff Bezos controls the USPS now too. He don't own it. You can't own the USPS, but Jeff Bezos out here delivering packages. And you know what? If you start seeing the Amazon trucks paint their trucks to red, white, and blue, hey, it is what it is. Is that what it's called? Steltos? Celtos? I haven't seen it. I don't know. But I'll take Brother Trey's word for it. And your word, Free. But, you know, knowing that these three powerful individuals are riding right along with number 47, there's going to be a lot of things that people just really have to stay the course on. Just got to stay the course. And once again, I appreciate everybody checking out the Corridor episode 19, White Boy Privilege. This one is Marky Mark and the Funded Bunch. We're talking a little bit about Mark and Elon and Jeff, but mostly just about this DEI stuff and just really just chopping it up, you know, just chopping it up. Kia has a nice lineup of vehicles. Yeah. Yeah, I can say that I was there at the beginning of their run, you know, their huge run. They had already been selling cars in America for a while when I got in back in late 2000. But the main thing was nobody really knew them. They knew about this long warranty, but they didn't know who Kia really was. And if anybody knows anything, you know Kia's actually been around way longer than most people know. How many of y'all remember the Ford Festiva? Do y'all remember that vehicle, the Ford Festiva? I don't know if y'all remember that vehicle or not. Ford Festiva. Yeah. The Ford Festiva was made by Kia. If you ever find a Ford Festiva anywhere, look under the hood and it'll show you where that car came from. The Ford Festiva. That was a vehicle that was made by Kia. An economy car, a subcompact economy car for Ford. Now, I don't know why Ford didn't buy Kia at that point and bring them into their fleet, and then they would be putting out all of these vehicles now. Somehow, some way, Kia remained independent, and now they're the big ding-a-ling in the auto industry. Kia and Hyundai, I mean, they've come up huge in the auto industry. You know, you're still going to have your Ford, GM, Chryslers. I get it. But Kia and Hyundai have come up huge. There's a lot of Teslas on the road, but there ain't as many Kias. Not as many as Kias, not as many as Hyundai. And I heard that he's leasing Teslas now at a much lower rate than he was obviously selling them at. Is there a special lease program on Teslas now? I got to look really into this because if he's jumped into that bag, that's going to hurt the big three. That will hurt import companies in general. Leasing has been the way in America. And if Elon Musk has figured out a way to market his vehicles through a leasing program, ooh, you know, yeah. White boy privilege. White boy privilege. You remember that Ford Festiva? And is it me, or was every Ford Festiva red? Seemed like every Ford Festiva that was out was red. Yeah. You know, I've heard about that. I heard there are a lot of recalls on Teslas. And when you take your car in to a Tesla dealership to get it fixed, do they give you a Tesla to drive? Do they give you a Tesla loaner? I mean, if I'm driving a Tesla and I bring my shit in to get repaired, I don't want to go out in a Ford. Not that I don't like Ford, because I drive a Ford. But if I'm driving a Tesla, send me out in a Tesla. Do they do that? You know, do they do that? What'd you say, Kia? Oh, yeah, they've been that. Yeah, Kia been that. Kia's been sponsoring stuff for the sports game for years now. You know, when I was working my way up out of the business, Kia had really started to jump into, you know, American sports, sponsoring this, sponsoring that, and, you know, Hyundai as well. Yeah, they sponsor all types of stuff because they've got great marketing people. And the big three has to look at this. This is something that I've never understood. How does the big three lose the Super Bowl or the All-Star game or the Major League All-Star game, World Series? How do you lose that stuff to foreign car companies? How does Ford, GM, and Chrysler just drop the ball and allow somebody else to come in and get that advertising bag, sponsoring our biggest sports events? That's nuts to me. But that's the passiveness of Americans. And that's kind of what Vivek Ramaswamy was talking about. He was talking about people being lazy in America. And I think a lot of the corporate infrastructures in America, they are lazy. Not just the working folk. He was talking about Americans, the working Americans and things like that are lazy. He wasn't talking about corporate. He don't want to piss corporate people off. Vivek is, you know, he's a corporate hump. So he wants people to like him on the corporate side. But that's really who he should have been directing that message, because American corporate infrastructures, they're lazy. They're lazy because American businesses have been the big swinging dingalings for years, for decades, for centuries. But now you've got all these import companies coming into play. And they're like, you know what? You're not the big swinging dingaling anymore. We're here now. And they may not be the biggest, but if there's a lot more of them and they're a lot more creative than the American companies, they'll invade, they'll infiltrate. That's what Nissan did when it made its big comeback. Nissan loaded up the marketplace with Nissans. That's why all the jokes are about Nissan Altimas now. You're a Nissan Altima, Nissan Altima. There's Nissan Altima jokes all the time because they're huge. They came back. What was that, 03, 04 that Nissan came back? And they've had an outstanding 2020 year run. Absolutely. They started redesigning those vehicles back in 04. They started killing them. Yeah. Now you've got all these other car companies getting into play. And then GM, Ford, and Chrysler, they're pretty much left to hold on to their base, and they'll get outside of their base a bit, but they rely on the A-plan stuff and the X-plan stuff and, you know, all the employee deals and family and friends and all that. Well, these foreign car companies, they don't have a lot of that stuff, and they still selling. You know, it is what it is. So, once again, appreciate the likes. Appreciate everybody that's watching on Facebook that's not saying anything. But I appreciate the ones who are on Facebook and have said something. Appreciate anybody that's watching on Twitter, or X as it were, or YouTube. I get about 2 views on YouTube. So whoever the 2 people that are watching on YouTube, peace. That's all I can say. I come from a space where I was able to see people do big business at an early age when I was young. I saw my father at play when he was working in corporate America, thriving. I saw him at play in the late 70s, you know, into the late 80s. And he had been doing his thing for quite some time. And I went and found this picture. That showed me where DEI may be now in America. This is where DEI was in Georgia in the late 70s, early 80s. This is where DEI was. The man seated in the middle, Frida calls Santa Claus. And that's my father. And that's his team around him. And as you can tell, he is surrounded by mostly Caucasian individuals. But if you look to his right shoulder, there's a black woman. The person that's right behind him, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he wasn't an American. He was an American, but he was something else. Then over his left shoulder, that gentleman is Asian. That gentleman is Asian. This is late 70s, early 80s during this time. This team had been with him for years. And he ran the Southeast Division of PepsiCo, and he ran the Pizza Hut division with these people as his immediate team. And he was all over the South, the southeast part of the country. And anybody that did anything on his team started with these people here. And they answered to him. So when I hear about people saying that it's going to be hard to move up, I'm sure it was hard for all of these people to get to where they got. It was definitely hard for my father to get to where he got. But what it took focus and people not knocking you off your square. I don't know the specific run for everybody, but he wouldn't have had the people at this table if they weren't on their shit. My father hated people who didn't know their shit. Hated it. He hated ignorance. He really did. But he would correct your ignorance by giving you the intel, but don't make him say the shit twice. And I can definitely tell you that I've inherited a lot of those traits. I have no problem dealing with ignorant people. Absolutely not. I'm not going to deal with stupid people, however. But ignorant people can be taught. Because sometimes there's people that are just ignorant because they just lack the intel. And once they have the intel, now they're where they need to be. But if you give someone the intel and they remain ignorant, they've just dropped a rung to stupidity. Now you can't talk to me. Now you have to leave my space. And when I look at all the people now, that's why I ask, how many of you have gotten a job because of DEI? I don't know anybody personally that's ever been hired because of DEI. I don't know anybody that's really been hired because of EEO. I can definitely tell you that I was hired at jobs because they needed to get their numbers up for a certain amount of people that they had to have on the staff. But it didn't necessarily have to be me. They could have hired an Asian. They could have hired a Latino. But there was something about me that they wanted other than a Latino, other than an Asian. And I know what that is. And they knew what it was. And it's why I've probably been hired 90% of the jobs that I've ever gotten. But it has nothing to do with DEI. I'm just not there. I'm just not that person that's going to get hired because of that. If you're going to hire me, you're going to hire me because of my skills. Couldn't stand it, Free. He despised stupidity. And hell, I can legitimately say you probably knew him just as well as I did. Couldn't stand stupidity. And once he knew you were stupid, he stopped talking to you. There were many people that I probably should have stopped talking to 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But I just kind of left them there. And every now and then, maybe I pick them back up. But for the most part, I don't deal with stupid people. But there's some ignorant people that have just been in my life, and they're just around. I don't run to them to engage, but, I leave them where they are. If we cross paths, I'm not going to have a negative word for you. But that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to cross paths, and I'm going to keep it moving. And hopefully you do the same and be well with it. Zero tolerance. So what we're dealing with right now, though, with the changing of the guard, we have to be crystal clear in our thinking. This image didn't happen by happenstance. This image happened purposely. I don't know who hasn't seen this image at this point. But this specific image of the 44th president sitting with the 45th and 47th president cracking jokes at Jimmy Carter's funeral, that didn't just happen. That didn't just happen. That was purposeful. That individual on the right requested to see that individual on the left's birth certificate, said he wasn't an American. He said he wasn't an American. The man was our president. And you ain't gonna be that man and not be an American. He said he wasn't American. And after all that name dragging, gaslighting, and whatever, look at there. Yucking it up. I remember our conversations when he learned that he got into the U of M. Powerful. I miss all our elders and their knowledge and wisdom. Forever thankful to all of our elders. Yeah. White boy privilege. This is what white boy privilege can do. You can request a man's birth certificate. Say he's not an American. And what? 8 years later? It's crazy to me. Yeah. Barry's got some issues. He's got some issues, Free. We know. You hearing about him and Michelle? We ain't going to go all gossip column with it. But yeah, I think there's trouble in that paradise. I truly believe there's trouble with Michelle and Barack's marriage right now, I think there's two potential bombshells. There's either trouble with their marriage or Michelle is ill. I don't want either. I don't want there to be something wrong with their marriage. I definitely don't want to hear that Barack was cheating on her. Because, boy, the stereotypes of that shit going to come out, if that's true. I don't want her to be sick either. What they represented for Black Americans, the representation of it, I'll still uphold. I don't particularly like some of the things that they did. That were counterproductive to Black Americans. But where we are now, I don't want to see her not be well, and I wouldn't want to see their relationship fail. I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to see that. Yeah. She may be. Who knows? They keep talking about Barack might be out there doing something. Maybe Michelle got her a little side thing. Maybe Michelle's got her a little side thing. Barack's the one that's been showing up at everything. Michelle's been the one that's been missing. They said Michelle was in Hawaii at Jimmy Carter's funeral. She wasn't even over here. She was on the island. I mean, she was still in the United States. But if she was in Hawaii, she could have been at that funeral. It wasn't like she got caught in Europe, couldn't get back fast enough. And they knew when the funeral was and all that. Look, she's the former first lady. She can fly at once. If Michelle Obama said, I need to fly up out of here, they can have a plane ready for her within the hour. That's how powerful she is. So there's no reason to tell me that she couldn't show up at that funeral. There's no reason to tell me that she couldn't show up at the inauguration. You could be right, Free. She might be sick of Barry. Mm-hmm. She gave her condolences. She did it for the gram. Shelly O did it for the gram. Okay. Well, what we've got going right now in my village is immigration has been through the county for the last few days. And if you've held on from Washtenaw County this long, I appreciate you. I wasn't going to make it the front part of the video because I wanted to get the, white boy privilege narrative spoken. I wanted to speak on Marky Mark and the Funded Bunch. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Something tells me that Barack didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Are like, former presidents or political figures, are their voting records public too? Could we see I know a lot of people can see what people can vote. Can you see what a former president's vote? Can I see his ballot? Because if his shit don't say Kamala Harris, boy, woo, yeah, 44 might have voted for 47 for real. Because he didn't want Kamala in there. No way, no how. He absolutely didn't want Kamala in there. I mean, he did his little support, He did his tap dancing, but he didn't want Kamala in there. Had a couple of new people come in. I appreciate y'all coming in, just seeing the numbers fluctuate. And if you do like what you're hearing, if you've been listening for over 90 seconds, I'm sure there's a reason to be here for another 90. Hit like. Just hit like. If you like it, just hit like. Y'all be liking celebrities' pictures and videos and shit, and them people ain't never gonna acknowledge you. If y'all hit like on my shit, I'll even call your name on. Be like, hey, so-and-so hit like. Helluva said I hit the like button. I said Helluva. When you got a function coming up, make sure you hire DJ Helliver. See how that goes? I pay it forward. Brother Donald supports my streams, as equally as Free does. And this is why I try to promote what Brother Donald has going on. Let me see if I can bring Brother Donald. I'm going to bring Brother Donald up here. Give me one quick second. Give me one quick second. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. If you are in need of facilities janitorial services, make sure you check out DRL. Okay? The gentleman that's in the chat right now, Donald LaFloria, is the owner of DRL. It's a multi-generational business, if I'm not mistaken. How many generations has your business been going, Donald? I thought, was it 3 or 4? 3 or 4 generations that your business has been going? I think it's a multi-generational business. I thought you were talking about that one day. 3 generations, started in the 70s. See? Black-owned business, started in the 70s, still going, still acquiring new business, still doing good business. And this is why we need to push each other. If we want to just be concerned about DEI, I get it. I get it. But why be concerned about DEI when you can be concerned about DIY? Do it yourself. Do it yourself. Everybody can't pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but the people that can, should. Will you? Anytime you can plant your own flag and be at the top of your own food chain and be functional and feed your family, do it. What you waiting for? To get fired from the next job? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get fired again. You're going to quit again. But if you have an idea and you have a vision where you could literally make money and feed your family, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? I want to know, why wouldn't you do it? I'm not asking anybody else. So your grandfather, who is now a legend, was working with a legend as well. Because your grandfather started a now 3-generation business, and he was working with John Barfield, who we done put up 3 white billionaires. They say John Barfield was a billionaire. I've heard this. I was in that custodial game for a quick minute. And I know the history of John Barfield. True legend. The Elder LaFloria, true legend. But you don't get to be that. And yes, you're going to be that. Come on now. And if I can bring 1 customer to Donald, he'll turn it into 3. If I can bring 3 customers to him, he'll turn it into 10. Because that's his job. His job is to do a good enough job to get some referrals. My job is to help bring somebody to him. So if you know somebody in the Washtenaw County or outside the county that needs facilities management on the janitorial side, there you go. There you go. What you waiting for? Write the number down. See, that's how I do things. But I'm different. I'm different. And if I knew what I know now years ago, shit, This social media thing is so crazy. However many people are going to watch this video on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and each one of those people who got this far into the video or maybe came in late and are seeing this, it's free advertisement for Brother Donald. Ain't charging him a thing. Why? Because I want him running his own business. And please keep in mind, he has a full career in the IT field. Full career in the IT field. This isn't his only bag. He's got a plan A with his plan B. But I don't even know if this is a plan B because it's a 3-generation business. It's kind of like a 1A, 1A. But that's the way we need to be thinking out here. Not being concerned whether we're going to get hired and then fired through DEI. We have customers in Taylor, Southgate as well. Okay, so he's worked his way downriver. DRL is downriver. Maybe that's what that DRL stands for. Downriver La Floria. Downriver La Floria. But I'm sure if the business is right, he'll go where he needs to go. That's what you do. That's how you acquire business. Can't wait for the business to come to you. You got to go where the business is. So when I look at things like this and the way things are unraveling already, with a lot of people just, they can't even have conversations right now about things because they're just so hemmed up mentally about what 47's doing. When I get off this thing here, I'm going to text a few people about some business. I'm going to text some people about some business. Dude texted me last night about some business at 1:09 in the morning. I love to know that there's nocturnal people out here besides myself. I love to know that people are thinking about business at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. It ain't just me. It ain't just me. I mean, I love what I do because I'm doing it and I can do it well, but I want to do more. I want to do more because I need more. And I need more because we have more. And the only way that I can hold on to what we now have is to do more. Or I can just deal with this. I can just deal with this and just know the powers that be will just be. I'm trying to break into any infrastructure I can, pull out what I need, what my family needs, and keep it moving. You know how many people have told me like I need to like join up with the Facebook stuff and do the stars and the coins and all that stuff. You could make money, make money. It was never about trying to make money with it. Now I got people like trying to show me how to do it and like, oh, okay. Like, well, you know, because you do them videos in your car, you can cut them videos up and this, that. Yeah, I just got all this stuff uploaded with the Premiere Pro and all that stuff. We're going to start slicing videos. It takes time to do that. And really, I really need somebody else to be able to do that. I'm talent. I'm talent. And it's not that I'm lazy, but I'm talent. But if I need to be technical, I can be technical. I can make things. I mean, I make my own thumbnails. They're not great, but I make my own thumbnails. You know? It's not a horrible thumbnail. It is what it is. It got my title out. I said, this is America, because that is America right now. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, that's America. You know what that is? That's the American dream. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos is the American dream. That's the American dream. If you don't understand that, you probably won't come back and listen to me anymore. But I truly understand what the American dream, and that's the American dream. Billionaire, billionaire, billionaire. When we were growing up, man, we talked about being millionaires. We literally talked about being millionaires. I've been a millionaire on paper. Never had $1 million before. I've actually been a millionaire twice on paper. 2 different times. Early 90s, early 2000s. On paper, never had $1 million. Not even close. Never had $500,000. Never even had $100,000 in the bank. But when you own a few real estate properties, little rental properties, and you own a business, and you already have projected out of what you're going to make over the next several years, because this is what the business made over these other several years, that counts for your worth. So yeah, technically I've been a millionaire, not a billionaire, excuse me. I've been a millionaire. Never had $1 million in my life. Never. Ever. And you ain't never heard me talk about it till right now. It's the first time I've ever mentioned it, because I never even thought about it that way. But I was listening to people that were talking, and I'm like, man, he doesn't have a lot of money. They ain't got no money. He's got businesses that make the money. But he ain't got no money. You ask him for some money, he's going to tell you no, because it's all in his businesses. But his businesses make the money, and they make him a millionaire. On paper. I love who I am. I love what I've done. I've got to do more. I want to teach my grandkids things that I didn't learn from my grandfather, unfortunately. Didn't even learn most of them from my father. But I've got to teach them that nobody, absolutely nobody, suppresses your power more than you. You allow somebody to suppress your power other than yourself, you'll never make it. You'll never make it. And I understand why people are upset about DEI, but they are allowing the disengaging of a system that actually never even helped them. Now it's got them twisted. I could see it if you got all these different jobs through DEI programs. DEI, got here through DEI, got here through DEI program. Now they take it all away. Oh, shit. How do I survive? How do I survive without DEI? I've been surviving all this time with DEI. But now DEI is gone. Now I can't survive. When black people were outraged about universities and corporate infrastructures getting rid of affirmative action practices, ask yourself, how many times did you get hired because of affirmative action? How many schools did you go to because of affirmative action? Affirmative action helped more people that don't look like me than me. And when they started talking about getting rid of affirmative action, who was down front and center right after Reverend Al Sharpton? White women, because they benefited from the shit so much. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, the jig is up. Oh, I didn't mean jig, but yeah, you know, what? Huh? White women benefited from affirmative action tenfold over black folks. And they're fighting for affirmative action, not for black folks, to keep themselves in power. And what we've got going on in this county right now, you've got people talking about, yeah, we've got to look out. We've got to look out for these undocumented. We've really got to look out for these undocumented. Yeah, we've got to protect the undocumented. Dear black folks, you ever heard anybody lobby for you that way? Man, we've got to protect these black folks. We got to protect these underserved. We got to protect these minorities. No. But they're willing to protect someone who's not even an American. But you're an African American, remember? Emphasis on African. It is what it is, dog. If y'all out here lobbying for people, and I'm not saying don't, and I'm not saying that it's wrong, you're going to do what you're going to do. But if you're out here lobbying for people who are undocumented and who walked into this country illegally, seeking a better life, let's say, but you're not lobbying for people who are multi-generational citizens of this country, come on, man. Come on, man. You are just like these guys. You're no different than these guys. Something I want to start out. I want to start giving kind of a lead into my next cast. And I want people to think about what's about to be played. I'm going to play it twice. I might even play it 3 times because he always says things 3 times. Appreciate you, Brother Donald. We have power that we don't even realize. And you know what? Before I play this last audio drop, there's one I want to play because the last audio drop is going to be a lead in because I want people to sleep on it. Those who watch the video tonight, you'll have a jump on the people who watch my next video. You'll have a jump, okay? So this is what it is. I want to play this segment from the creator of the Boondocks. Y'all know I hate the goofy shit. I don't like when we make clowns of ourselves. I just don't. And we've done it for so long now, I think in a lot of frames, we're not taken serious as a collective. I gotta play this. I gotta play this. This here is the creator of the animated franchise, The Boondocks. I need you to listen close. This is not one of the skits from the cartoon. This is the creator. And I need you to listen to what he says so you can understand where we are And then I'm going to give the lead in to the next episode, which would be the number 20th episode of The Corridor. But listen to Brother Aaron Magruder of the Boondocks fame.
I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country that, forget hating black people or not hating black people, they just don't care. You can be talking about affirmative action, they can be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery. I don't care about segregation. I don't care about you. I don't care how many of you all go to jail. I don't care at all, because I'm broke. You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool?
I'm going to play it one more time. I know half of you weren't really listening. Listen here.
I really want you guys to understand that time is running out. And a lot of black people say that, but for real. Part of why the civil rights movement has been so successful, and part of why those who have come after in terms of our leadership have been able to maintain a presence, is that black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country that, forget hating black people or not hating black people, they just don't care. You can be talking about affirmative action, they can be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery. I don't care about segregation. I don't care about you. I don't care how many of you all go to jail. I don't care at all, because I'm broke. You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool?
Exactly. How would they know you're not a fool? If you're acting like a fool, how would they know you're not a fool? Knocked it out of the park, Donald. He knocked it out of the park. And so many people will run up in your face and act like they care. When you start talking about your real plight, when you start talking about your real problems you got out here, they don't care. Brother Kenny McGee, what's going on? We're just in here chopping it up about white boy privilege. Glad to see you could make it. Better late than never. Please hit the like button, Kenny, if you can. That'll get me one closer to 10. I'm almost to 10 likes. I really don't get 10 likes on a live. I'll get a few views here and there, but most people won't even like the video. If Ken likes the video, I'll get up to 9 likes. Appreciate that. There we go. I think that had to be Kenny because nobody else did it. Nobody else did it. And we've got other people in here who haven't liked the video, and I'm not sure why. I know I've got a considerable amount of lurkers in here tonight. I do. I know why. I get it. Elon's probably got some people in here. Mark's probably got some people in here. And Jeff's probably got some people in here. Now that's really blowing my shit up. Pause. But hey, when you put their hashtags in there, you know they got people. They got people who got people. And they're like, well, let's go over here and see what this nigga's talking about. You know. But we're talking about Marky Mark and the Funded Bunch. Do you remember Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Kenny? I don't know if you remember Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Do you remember Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? Brother Donald said, what's good with you? There you go. Wahlburgers. There you go. Kenny knows. Kenny's hip. Kenny's hip. You wouldn't think Kenny's hip when you look at him. You wouldn't think most people think Kenny's an asshole when they see him. But Kenny is literally one of the nicest people I know. You would think he's an asshole, especially when he's got his glasses on, he got his dark sunglasses on, his wraparound glasses and shit. You know, he kind of looks like he could be a jerk, but he's not. He's absolutely not. So yeah, I named this Marky Mark and the Funded Bunch. You know, that quirky shit that comes to me sometimes, and I ran with it. And we've just talked a bit about them. You know. Just talked a bit about them. My baby just now texted me back. I text her how many hours ago? But she got me before midnight. That's all good. She got me before midnight. You know. It's about 5 hours ago when I texted her back, she now hit me back. But that's all good. I love her. You are. You are. You know, I think, you know, you have that in you, but I've never really seen that streak. So, you know. But it's when people, you know, and you're very firm in your delivery when you talk and very direct. And a lot of people don't like that now. A lot of people don't like that direct talk. You're very direct. It is what it is. I'm a culprit of that myself. I'm too direct. You know, my words, you know, have rough edges. I get it. I've heard everything. It's not what you say, Shannon. It's how you said it. Yeah, you know. I'm like, well, it's only really one way to call somebody a stupid motherfucker sometimes. You know, you can't really say that, you know, nicely, but it is what it is. Listening to him break down that people just don't care. And I said what's going on with the county, touched on it just briefly, with this mass deportation thing that's happening already with this new presidential administration, the return of 45 to 47. It's going to start setting off in Washtenaw County. There's been lots of sightings of trucks. Not going to deliver out any names or anything, of course. But I know people personally who witnessed people right next door to their home. Names, everything. They knew who lived there. Bam, bam, bam. They looking for them. Got to go. It's real. And it's never really real to me until I talk to somebody who's experienced it. And she literally told me, she was like, they knocked on the door. They asked, was he there? He wasn't there. And yeah, he ain't supposed to be here. So in due time, he'll probably be detained. Don't know his history. But I gave, the whole reasoning why. I'm like, could be wanted here. If not, he could be wanted at home. It does. It does. We're less tolerable of the bullshit. We were just talking about my father, and we're just less tolerable of the bullshit. He hated bullshit. He hated, didn't like dealing with ignorance, stupidity, and all that. And that's what Aaron Magruder was saying, like, we can only act like a fool for so long until they just start thinking we're just foolish. Some people, when they see the shit that it goes on online or even things that people do in public, they think that's the grade of Black Americans. They have no idea that that's a very, 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 very minute part of Black Americans. People out here doing that goofy shit, that's not most Black people. It's just very, very tiny part of, very tiny. And here's the other thing. It's not always Black Americans, American Blacks, African Americans, American freedmen. A lot of the goofy shit that y'all see out here don't be American freedmen. A lot of the goofy shit y'all see out here be motherfuckers from other territories that they've been given blackness. Could be some Caribbean motherfucker. Could be somebody from the continent of Africa. They know it's not most Black people. They absolutely understand that. Yeah, they may, but they don't act like that. They try to lump us all together. That's why I don't believe in allowing them to flatten blackness. Don't call me what a motherfucker is, and he's not even supposed to be here. If he's Jamaican or African or Haitian or whatever, if he's not even a fucking documented American citizen, don't call him what you call me. He's not what you call me or what I am. But as soon as somebody comes from another country, oh, is it African American right there? That motherfucker might be Black, but he's not African American. And just because y'all gonna let you call me African American, I ain't gonna even let you call him African American. I got ancestors who bled and died for that shit. Just because I don't like it. He don't get to be that. Call him what he is, wherever he's from. His papers ain't right. Oh, you can't even call him a Haitian American, a Jamaican American, an African American. That's why we're American Africans. We are not African Americans. Because if you want to call us African Americans, then you got to call that motherfucker in the middle an African American. Because he's from Africa and he's an American. So is Elon Musk an African American? Come on, man. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but I'm cooking tonight. Just letting y'all know, I'm cooking tonight. I don't just cook during the day, I'm cooking at night. And it's tonight. They do. And that's why this is my lead-in to my next stream. Number 20, the episode coming up next, we were going to talk about this. We are going to talk about this. Please listen up. I'm going to play it twice. I might just play it 3 times to be petty because he says everything 3 times. But this will be the title to the next stream.
All white people are racist. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. That's rule number 1. If you don't get the first rule, the rest of the rules don't make no sense. Let me explain what I mean when I say all white people are racist. All white people are racist does not mean all white people are bigots. Stay with me. A bigot is someone who hates you because you're black. A bigot is someone who believes y'all need to be exterminated, that you're racially inferior, that you're nothing but drug addicts and drug users. That is a bigot. They have an emotional attachment to the destruction of the black community. A racist does not have to hate black people. A racist does not have to work to eliminate us as a population. A racist does not have to push false narratives or stereotypes about who we are. Do you know what a racist is interested in? Control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. That's it. To be a racist means I like the unfair advantage my people have over blacks, and I'm not going to do a damn thing about changing it or making it even. Now, if you know of a white person that's ever walked this earth that has tried to eliminate their white privilege or the unfair advantage that their people have against us, give me a name.
Do you think either of these three men are racist? Please listen to this again.
All white people are racist. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. That's rule number one. If you don't get the first rule, the rest of the rules don't make no sense. Let me explain what I mean when I say all white people are racist. All white people are racist does not mean all white people are bigots. Stay with me. A bigot is someone who hates you because you're black. A bigot is someone who believes y'all need to be exterminated, that you're racially inferior, that you're nothing but drug addicts and drug users. That is a bigot. They have an emotional attachment to the destruction of the black community. A racist does not have to hate black people. A racist does not have to work to eliminate us as a population. A racist does not have to push false narratives or stereotypes about who we are. Do you know what a racist is interested in? Control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. That's it. To be a racist means I like the unfair advantage my people have over blacks, and I'm not going to do a damn thing about changing it or making it even. Now, if you know of a white person that's ever walked this earth that has tried to eliminate their white privilege or the unfair advantage that their people have against us, give me a name.
So, listening to that, do you think one of these three individuals are racist? Because he said all white people are racist. He said all. Do you think Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos likes the unfair advantage that their people have? Their access to resources? Do you think they like it to the point where they wouldn't be willing to give it up for DEI? DEI. They said the CEO of Starbucks, I think, made $96 million in 24. I'm going to have to double check it. I heard he made $96 million. I could be wrong. I'm hoping it was a typo. I'm literally hoping it was a typo. I mean, I saw 96 million. I'm like, please make that 26 million. Come on. They said the CEO of Starbucks made $96 million last year. If that's so, do you think he's racist? Yeah, I can't afford that shit no more, Donald. I'm sorry, I can't fade a cup of coffee from Starbucks no more. They started at $6 and they ended up damn near $10. And then I'm putting a $2 tip on top of every single cup. I mean, when it was 6, I was doing 8. When it was 7, I was doing 9. When it was 8, I was doing 10. When it got to 9, I was like, God damn, I'm doing 11. So I was having to bust a bill. I couldn't even just do a 10. I'm going to have to do a 10 and a 1. If I'm on the card, I'm like, damn, I'm going over on some coffee. And then when that last cup that I ever got was $9.83. Y'all need to play that in a 3-digit. Put that straight in box. Play it 2-way. 983. Start playing that. That's the last cup of coffee that I got from Starbucks. It was 983. I'm like, there ain't shit in the world that I'm going to drink first thing in the morning on my way to work that needs to be costing $10. Now, if it's a nice glass of whiskey, that's different. But I prefer to drink at home, not alone. That's an alky. But I prefer to drink at home. I prefer not to buy a $10 glass, $10 glass. Let me just go and get the whole bottle for $40. Thank you. I'm back at Tim Hortons. Get the same thing for 30. Yeah. They got crazy. And, I was supporting them when they was doing their strikes and stuff, all their little labor issues and shit. A lot of Starbucks baristas, are in the LGBTQ community. They was going through a lot of stuff because they was hiring and uplifting a lot of trans people in the community. And they was getting the business by a lot of patrons and shit like this. I defended a lot of them. When I be in the line, they be talking shit to them, this, that, and the other. I've talked about all this stuff on my videos and everything. But, can't do it, dog. Can't do it. The last cup was 983. 983. Play that shit. Play that shit in the lottery. And if somebody hit, I want my $1. You had to play it for $1. Give me the $1 that you played it with. I don't want none of the winnings. Just give me the $1 that you played it with. That's good enough for me. Yeah, I used to have lives. I'd be pulling them right up on Starbucks. Sometimes I'd be talking to some of the guys, and the girls, from the trans community and things like that. You heard some of them conversations, man. I've been out here, man. I'm not new to this. Hey, man, sometimes I'm just petty for no reason. So, where I'm at now, man, I'm trying to make sense of what's going to happen going forth. I haven't touched on too much of the California stuff, but I will. I don't just want to just talk about people's plights, but something came out last week. Some of y'all probably caught it. Newsom running his mouth and said some goofy shit about, all the events that are coming up over the next few years. I'm going to talk more about that and his useless ass. And I guess Trump went there and gave Newsom a face job. I ain't even seen, they got audio of it, audio and video, I think. They got audio and video of him, like, them going at it. I got to get to it. I ain't never been good at smoking no roach. Y'all know that? I'm not a roach smoker. I ain't never been good at that. Once the joint get too small, I just fuck it. I throw in the ashtray. I don't even be going back digging through the ashtray looking for roaches and shit like that. I really don't. I had to get petty one good time tonight. Just one time, Brother Donald. You already know. But the sheriff has said that the sheriff's department is not going to help the border control secure fugitives, undocumented people, potential criminals even. Some of these people are potential criminals. And the sheriff said that she's not going to help. That's a problem. It's an absolute problem. And it's going to cause issues in the county. Yeah, I think Holman going to show up on Hogback. When you hear about Holman on Hogback, when you hear about Holman on Hogback, it's going to get crazy. But she said she's not going to help. And I'm sorry, but if there's any illegals out here doing things to Americans in Washtenaw County, and she's not going to do anything for them, send their ass up out of here. Fuck it. Come on, get them, Tom. Tom, come on. Bring the troops. If we're not going to be protected by the largest law enforcement agency in the county, come on. Tom, come on. I tell you what, he bring his crew in town. You know, they'll set up a little spot, you know, where they meet up and everything like that. I'll go on over there and cook some food for him. Wouldn't even give it a second thought. For a nominal fee. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were knocking on doors. Knocking on a door next to a person that I know who lived in that house. Now I know who lived in the house that they was looking for. And legitimately were looking for somebody that was undocumented. Mm-hmm. Yep. Didn't learn more than that. Don't know if they're undocumented and they've committed crimes over here or if they're wanted over, you know, in their homeland. You know, because they could have been on the Interpol stats. Interpol, you know, they've been reciprocating with all that. Yeah, it's not looking good. They in town, okay? They in town. Tom Homan physically might not be here, but Tom Homan's people's here. Yep. They were on the south side today. Yes, they were. Brother Donald called me and told me he's on the south side. Yeah. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning, y'all. Worrying about this is not good. Concerning ourselves, consuming ourselves with this is not good. What? They going up in the schools getting the kids? Are they snatching kids out to school? We got the notification Friday. Wow. They snatching the kids out the schools down in Florida, y'all. Are these criminals? Did the kids commit crimes? Or are they just taking them out because they're just undocumented? Holman said he was going for the worst first. Are they wanted back home? That's wild. That's wild. But yes, the next stream, R. I got to put the R into it. It's got to be a question. It's not going to be clickbait. We've already heard the lead in. We've already heard Umar Johnson or Jermaine Shoemaker, whatever you want to call him, say what he said. And just based on this premise,
all white people are racist. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. That's rule number one. If you don't get the first rule, the rest of the rules don't make no sense. Let me explain what I mean when I say all white people are racist. All white people are racist does not mean all white people are bigots. Stay with me. A bigot is someone who hates you because you're black. A bigot is someone who believes y'all need to be exterminated, that you're racially inferior, that you're nothing but drug addicts and drug users. That is a bigot. They have an emotional attachment to the destruction of the black community. A racist does not have to hate black people. A racist does not have to work to eliminate us as a population. A racist does not have to push false narratives or stereotypes about who we are. Do you know what a racist is interested in? Control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. That's it. To be a racist means I like the unfair advantage my people have over blacks, and I'm not going to do a damn thing about changing it or making it even. Now, if you know of a white person that's ever walked this earth that has tried to eliminate their white privilege or the unfair advantage that their people have against us, give me a name.
That's wild. I hear something different every time I listen to it now. So, yeah, we're definitely going to break that down. Are all white people racist? I got to ask it as a question, hopefully to be able to get some feedback from the chat. And we'll play the clip several times. Absolutely. We're going to play the clip several times. Are all white people racist? Closing it out with this image of my father, who actually passed away on the same day that my firstborn came into the world. So it's such a dichotomous day. December 12th is such a dichotomous day for me. It's the day I became a father. It's the day I lost my father. That's wild. It's always hit me different. The day I became a father is the same day that I lost my father. That's some mathematics for your ass right there. The day you gain greatness is the day you lost greatness. The day you got your wings is the day my father got his wings. I ended up with 9 likes that I can see. Could be more, I don't know, because I don't see every channel. But I ended up 9 likes. I'm happy with that. 9 of you cared enough to like the video. 9. We had more watching, but 9 of you. And across the 3 platforms, I don't know exactly how many. I can't see it until it's all over. It's weird. It doesn't allow me to see it. Maybe I need a better situation here. But StreamYard doesn't allow me to see every platform. But 9 people liked it. I'll shoot for double digits next time. This was good for me to be able to get what I needed to get out about white boy privilege. I mean, these are white billionaires billionizing. Not just typical white boy privilege, but it's white boy privilege on 10. On 10. This is white boy privilege on 10. This is not your quintessential white boy privilege. You know what this is? This is white exceptionalism. Every white person ain't doing this. This just ain't white excellence. This is white exceptionalism. And if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Foster said black excellence is the grade level. That's it. That's where we start. That's our base. We need to get into black exceptionalism. So y'all can say, are you trying to act white? Been there. Not $1 closer, but yeah, I've been there. So yeah, I appreciate y'all checking out the White Boy Privilege, episode 19 of The Corridor. We're going to get back at you tomorrow. We'll be at it again. We're going to do it tomorrow because now we got to pick up. Are all white people racist? And everybody that was in here tonight, I appreciate y'all. Anybody that's going to watch this playback, if you made it all the way to 2 hours and 35 minutes, you need a life. Just kidding. Anybody that listen to this whole thing or near this whole thing, I appreciate you wholeheartedly. There was a lot of people that listened through great duration. My numbers really didn't dip. But what I'm looking for now, besides that 10th like, I'm looking for all the lurkers who was listening tonight, who are going to go back and listen again. Take some of that shit and put it into your atmosphere. Because I know you're lurking for a reason. You're lurking to learn. I know why you're lurking. I know why Tim Black listens to my shit. I don't mind walking in the path, but I've always preferred to blaze the trail. Y'all be good out here. And as usual, I'm going to let the lurkers live.
Some of you niggas